Okay, building Jarvis or Jarvis AI day one. So I'll kind of just be talking through my process and using AI to help me code this to hopefully help me learn as I'm coding, but also to create something cool because I think Iron Man's the coolest hero, especially for an engineer. So first, I made my main folder, Jarvis AI, and I made the main py file. So then we want to import syst, and so we'll be using pyqt5 to kind of get the window instead of using like HTML or something to make it look all nice. It might not look as nice with PyQt, but I think that might be a whole nother beast for me to kind of transfer information from a Python file to an HTML window. So we're going to make this class Jarvis window. And we're going to define initialize self super initialize. Then we have the title of the window. I want to say Jarvis UI. And then we're going to set the geometry. So I think the way the geometry is defined is your X, then your Y, then your width and height. So we'll do 100, 100, 400, 200. Make this label. And in true Jarvis fashion, I want it to be like, welcome, sir, or welcome, sir. You know, some Jarvis would actually say. Okay, so I guess the way that class Qt label works is, I don't know what that means yet. I'm gonna have it explained to me in a second. So I don't know if all these dots after are like levels of abstraction. So like, we defined self in the first part. This is a parameter. And then super self might give it special permissions. I don't know if I still need self in this little part with super in it. But then, you obviously make the window. It's pretty straightforward. This is the how you set it. So we went to spot 100, 100, and then made it 400 by 200 and named it Jarvis UI. But then, you're defining self.label as QLabel welcome sir. I guess this is all referencing back to self. And so this is essentially like saying QLabel welcome sir dot slash self or comma self move 190. So app equals this. I don't know what that means. Looks like it's a list of arrays. Window equal Jarvis window. Show system.exit. App.exec underscore boom boom. Okay, so if I run this how it is now, window is not defined. Did you mean window? I did. Oh, also earlier I pip installed PyQt, but I already had it on my computer, so it just said the requirements were already met. So I run this, must have type error, show self, first argument of unbound method must have a Q widget. What does it mean? Line 16. Oh, so maybe I need to say Q widget dot window show. Widgets. Window equals Jarvis window, and Jarvis window equals Q main window. So it's like saying Q main window show. So Q application dot window, the type object Q application has no attribute window, so maybe it wants me to use Q main window. Yo, you're trying to call dot show on the class, not on the object you created from it. In other words, you tried to show the blueprint, not the actual window that was built from it. So I'm trying to show Jarvis window instead of Q main window. So I need to do Q main window. And then window show. So window equals Jarvis window, and window dot show is just showing the Jarvis window instead of, it's saying, it's basically like saying, asking a floor plan to open its own floor door. This creates the instance, this shows the instance. So instead of just defining window to Jarvis window, I defined it as, I guess this is the application of Jarvis window, and I'm showing that. Okay, that's the first start, that's the first step, but 100 is crazy. Let's try 200. 500. Okay, that's not moving. And I like 500 by 300 better. Personal preference. Yeah, that's nice. So maybe if I go to, see, half of that is 250 by 150. No. Just stick with this. Oh, maybe that's what this is doing. Regardless of what it is, it moves this label of welcome, sir. This is what that is. That's not bad. Okay. So now we have the class for the window. We have defined app as the application of system argument v, whatever that means. I don't understand that yet. I put this here for learning purposes. That's not how I do that. Q application equals the entire app engine. Q main window is equal to the window skeleton. Got you. Q label. This is probably the easiest thing on here. Is equal to display text. System.argv gives Q application access to command line info. Dot show brings the window to life, and dot exec starts the event loop. Nothing works without this. Brave, foolish, but brave. Let's drop on your next piece of armor. We're giving Jarvis a voice input, well, a text box and a respond button. Time to make this window interactive. So we're gonna add a text box and a button. So we're gonna update the code a little bit by first importing Q application, Q label, Q main window. Also gonna do Q line edit. We already have a label in here. Q push button. So I guess these are just all the line edit is probably what allows us to do text entry, and then push button, obviously to click a button. I didn't know there were so many small steps in between though. You got the box layout, Q widget, yeah, that should be it. Okay, so we already have the basics. Now we're gonna make a central widget and layout for it. So we'll define central widget as Q widget. Self dot, so we already know self is defined as Jarvis window. Got layout, QV box layout. So we got central widget, set layout. Keep on spelling that somehow. So I guess this is central widget, which we already know is defined as Q widget. And then we have set layout. Layout is already defined as QV box layout, but there's another layout in there, capitalized L. So that's probably something embedded in the system. Then we'll make the box that the person can type in. So we have input field is equal to Q line edit. So yeah, I was right about that. Luckily, you have field dot set placeholder. Okay, so this is gonna just be what it says before you type. I'll say talk to Jarvis. Oops, sorry. OCD spasm attack. Go 3 dots, because actually, yeah, 3. 4 looks too long. Okay, so I guess after you click into that field, so we're going to add another label. Jarvis is listening. That's when it's, I guess, responding. I'm going to add this button and set this talk button to Q push button. Talk to Jarvis. Okay, so self-talk button is equal to Q push button. So we're creating a push button called talk to Jarvis. And then on click, or when it's clicked, connects to respond to input. Okay, so you've got layout.add widget, self input field, add widget, self talk button. Okay, so let's see. This is just adding it to the widget. So layout. What was layout defined as? Oh, QV box layout. So I guess this is the actual layout for the widget. So it's equal to this box layout, and then central widget sets layout. Oh, this okay. This is setting the layout to this box layout, and then we're adding to this box layout these widgets: talk button, input field, response. So I guess after this we have to make some definitions, put it on the same line as that one, because Python is really strict about that. So we're going to define, we got to define respond to input. And we're going to route it back to self. Whoa. Accident. User input equals self.input field.text self.input. So I guess the input in typed into the main Jarvis layout, main Jarvis UI, and I guess whatever's put in that input field, that's text. Response will be equal to self-generate response. set text to the response. So we might be giving it some different things. Okay, so now we have to generate the response with self and command as variables. So if hello and command lower. So I think lower just means that it's okay. It automatically puts it in lowercase when referencing it. So if I say hello, I'm just gonna say hello, sir. Ready for, I'll say the day. Else if I say weather, and command line lower, return the weather is fine. I'm not connected. Yeah. So I think that's another level we're gonna take. This is actually connecting it to a weather API and having it dynamically define those variables. Probably be a variable like current weather or current city, and it'll use the API to get those. Okay, so else if so I guess command strip is just the thing, so if nothing is entered, that's what this means. So if the user doesn't enter anything, it'll return, say something, sir, please. And if none of that happens, return an F string. So this is like saying print, but I guess it's not going to the terminal, so it's returning it directly to the window. I'm used to print statements right now, so I guess this is the same as that because that's what it's operating like. So you can go like this and say you said this. What that mean? Bottom part stays the same. So I guess we're getting rid of the welcome sir label. How sad. We had it and it's gone. On to bigger and better things. Do I need to have it like that? The things that actually make these, I guess, arguments or makes them do something. Did you mean strip? String object has no attribute trip. Shouldn't that mean this though? Oh, I see what it means. Command strip. Talk to JARVIS. Say something, sir, please. Hello. Hello, sir. Ready for the day? Weather. The weather is fine. I'm not connected to the internet yet. Okay, so next, what do I want to focus on? we have some basic inputs and responses, but they look a little weird. Maybe I want to focus on maybe make the functionality first, then focus on how it looks. So we saw how it worked. We can pull it back up and look at the code side by side. And get rid of this for now. Oh no. Oh wait, it's still here. Okay. So we created the widget and the layout, and we set it to central widget. And then we have the layout. I don't know what the difference is between these. But then we have our input box. So this is the response label. This is whatever Jarvis says back. And then we have the label for Jarvis is listening. Okay, let me Q line edit, talk to Jarvis. That's the one where it's waiting for us to input something. It's an input field. Then we have the response label, and then we have the talk button, actually talking to Jarvis. We added these 3 widgets that we made, so I'm assuming every time we add a widget, it'll be above this, and we'll add another one to there. Then we have to define response to input. So input is right here, the input field. It has to respond to that, referencing it back to Jarvis window. User input is equal to self.input field.text. So the text of, which I'm assuming if it's text, then it's gonna assume it's a string. We don't have to redefine it. So self-input field, whatever that says, response will equal, or user input equals this. Response equals, I gotta stop doing that. Response equals self.generate response. Do we have a generate response? No. Okay, so generate response is internal in how this application works. So we're going self.generate response for the user input. So whatever string is in this. Self.response label dot set text is equal to response. So response label, which we said is here, Jarvis is listening. That gets redefined, or we set the text as whatever this response is, and we generate that response through here. So if hello, it returns that. Okay, not bad. It feels like a lot of code for a little, but I'm learning, and hopefully you're learning with me on this journey. But this has been day 1, and I guess we'll see where day 2 takes us, whenever that is.